This is going to be 6.2, all right? And today we're going to be solving for the interior angles of polygons. So interior angles of polygons. Now, for some of these, we need to know the names because sometimes it will say, what's the interior angles of a heptagon? What are the interior angles of a dodecagon? You need to know those amount of sides, okay? Sometimes you'll need to count the sides, but there will be a couple different ways that we can do this. Now, when we're doing the interior angles, those are the inside angles of a polygon. Based on the amount of sides, it's different for each polygon. What was it for a triangle?
60 degrees.
No, well, what did all the interior angles add up to equal?
180 degrees.
180. Okay.
Each angle would it is smaller or larger.
What this is, okay, is the equation that we're going to use to solve. All right, is to find the interior angles is going to be n minus 2 times 180. Okay, so n minus 2 times 180. This is the biggest equation that you need to know. N is represented by the number of sides. So let's apply this equation. Let's say we have a nonagon. How many sides is a nonagon? 9. So when I put this into the equation, if I have a nonagon, I'm going to do 9 minus 2 times 180. You have to make sure you do the parentheses first. So what's 9 minus 2? 7 times 180. So then you go ahead and just plug this into your calculator. Who can tell me what 7 times 180 is? You'll need your calculator today.
1,260.
Yeah.
Like 7 times.
No. Okay, 1,260 degrees. So for a nonagon, when you add all the angles together, it equals 1,060. Okay? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, 1,260. Thank you. Now, let me show you kind of why this works, and we'll have some equations and examples on why this equation works. So let's say we have this shape right here. What's this shape? Yeah, that's a hexagon, okay? So a hexagon has 6 sides. Now, when we plug this into the equation, we would do 6 minus 2 times 180, okay? I'm going to explain the minus 2. The n minus 2 is representing how many triangles? Because we know a triangle, the interior angles add up to equal 180. So what happens is if I go to this shape right here, and I go from one vertex to all the other vertexes, just like this, how many triangles did I just create?
4
Yes, you see how there's 4 triangles? So what I did was 6 minus 2 times 180. And what's 6 minus 2? 4. So you see how because there's 4 triangles in the shape, that's just what we're finding with the n minus 2. So let's just do the 4 times 180 real quick. And what's 4 times 180?
720 degrees.
720. Okay? So, if you have questions that ask, how many triangles are in a hexagon? That's just n minus 2. And how many sides is a hexagon? 6. So if it asks how many triangles, your answer is just 4. Because you just subtract it from 2. If it asks how many diagonals are in a shape, it's the same thing. So let's say we have a decagon. How many diagonals are in a decagon? How many sides is a decagon? 10. So it's just 10 minus 2. And that finds the diagonals or the triangles. Okay? If it says find the total sum of interior angles of a decagon, what do we do? Mm-hmm. So what equation do I put that in?
0 times A, or 180 times A.
I need to put it into the equation of n minus 2 times 180. So how many sides is a decagon again?
10 sides.
10 minus 2 times 180. What's 10 minus 2?
8.
Then what is 8 times 180?
1,440.
Okay, and that's the total sum. Okay? Now, one quick thing before we go over some examples. What if I say, what is the value of a single interior angle of a heptagon? So we want to find one specific angle of a heptagon. If it asks that, we need to find the total sum first. So what's the equation for the total sum again? N minus 2 times 180. And how many sides is a heptagon?
7 sides.
7. Heptagon is 7. So I have n minus 2 times 180, so that's 7 minus 2 times 180. What's 7 minus 2? 5. And what's 5 times 180? 900. Now, it said to find this, what is each individual angle? What is each individual interior angle? So how many sides was the heptagon again? How many sides is the heptagon? 7. So what do you think we're going to do to 900 if we're finding each individual? We're going to divide it by 7. Okay? Because that's how you find each individual angle. So each angle is going to equal this 900 divided by 7. Okay? This one comes out as a decimal, so say round to the nearest tenth. What do we get? So each individual angle equals 128.6. All right, and then I think to add on, we'll add on to that later for level 2, but this is all going to be level 1. Do we have any questions right now? Yeah, it's not too bad at all. Okay. Let me send this to my email. Okay, let's look at some examples. Let's look at the examples that you will see. Oh, here we go. This says, using diagonals from a common vertex, how many triangles can be formed from the polygon pictured below? So if you have one like this, like if you have it on your quiz or test, just go from that vertex and go and create those diagonals. Okay? Or you can count how many sides. So how many sides does this shape have?
There's 7 sides.
There's 7 sides. So what's the equation that we use? Nope. It says we're finding the triangles. So this is just n minus 2.
Yeah. There's 5 triangles.
This is just n minus 2. So there's 7 sides.
Just the amount of triangles.
And then 7 minus 2 is 5. And that's all you do on this. If you're finding how many triangles, okay? If it says the total sum, that's when we times it by 180. Let's look at this one. What is the sum of interior angles of a 23gon? Who can tell me how to set this one up? Yeah, Noah? Yeah, 23 minus 2 times 180. What's 23 minus 2? 21 times 180, and what do you get, Noah, when you put that in? You said 3,780? And there's our answer. Okay, yeah, it's not too bad at all. Let's look at the next one. Using diagonals to form a common vertex, how many triangles can be formed? So let's count how many sides. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I'm finding how many triangles, what's the equation?
Just n minus 2.
Just n minus 2. So 7 minus 2, it's just like the first one we did.
5 triangles.
5 triangles. Okay? This says, what is the measure of each interior angle of a regular polygon pictured below? Okay, this time we're going to have to count. Now I will say, in delta math, you might get a shape where it's really hard to count the sides of the polygon, okay? I will not give you those like on the quiz or test because it's really hard to count them. It's like 23 gons or 22 gons. I'm sorry if you get one of those questions on delta math. I can't control what you get. But like, see how we have to count all of these, and this is a lot. Some of them, it's going to be harder to read. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, it is 14.
Okay, so how do I set this one up when I need to find what is the measure of each interior angle? I need to do that first. So 14 minus 2 times 180. What's 14 minus 2? Perfect. What's 12 times 180? Okay, that's the total sum. It says what is the measure of each interior angle? What do I need to divide this by? 14, because that's how many sides, okay? Now, just make sure you catch yourself. So I'm glad, Noah, you kind of said 12, because you would think you do 12, okay? But you need to make sure you divide it by how many sides, okay? So that's a common mistake, all right? So just make sure you divide by the amount of sides. So who can tell me what 2,160 divided by 14 is?
About 154.3 degrees.
Okay.
About 154.3 degrees.
154.3. No, it's okay. Okay, do we see what we did there? Do this one on your own. Oh, we never mind. All of them happen to be heptagons. Do this one on your own.
Regular same side and same
Mm-hmm. Yep. Keep going. Whoever said that, keep going. All right. Who can walk me through this? Okay, Austin? Yeah, I need to start with 5 minus 2 times 180. Okay, because I need to find the total sum first. So what's 5 minus 2? All right, and then what's 3 times 180? 540. That's the total sum. Oops, total. And then what do I need to do when I need to find the measure of each angle? I need to divide 540 divided by 5. So what do we get? 108 degrees. Okay, perfect. Questions about that? Okay, how do we feel about this? Feel pretty good? Okay, I will give you guys the rest of class to work on homework.